test when this is
Okay.
done. Come on. Alright, that's live. No, that's not. Come on. Work, you piece of trash. Right, there we go. Right. We are back. So can we get a sound check from everybody, please?
Hello.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
See it in your memes.
Is that good?
I can see it in your memes.
I'll let you know in a second when it comes through.
I can see it in your dreams.
And shenanigan stuff.
Artemis, the thought.
And the Lord looketh upon Artemis, and he said, "Be gone, thought." Oh my God, that should totally be your hellish rebuke.
Be gone, thought.
Yes, be gone.
Right, we are live. We are working.
Hey. Okay. Lockdown D&D take 2. So welcome everyone to Lockdown D&D, where we sit around, roll dice, and try not to have technical difficulties during these unprecedented times. So, and a change of schedule as well, because for those who may have been at the stream at last time's stream, because let's face it, it's been a little bit of a long while. We had it on a bi-weekly game every Saturday, but now it is every Tuesday. So every Tuesday you're going to get your Lockdown D&D by Natural 20s goodness. And we shall start off with a bit of a recap. So, last time on Lockdown D&D, you guys managed to eliminate is a better word, eliminate some bandits who had infiltrated what was going to be an execution of a bandit leader known as Rin Rin, who Meta seems to know pretty well. There, you were summoned by Lord Whitehead as well as Captain Cromley, and were tasked to hunt Rin Rin down and take him, preferably alive, but if he has to be killed, then by all means you can kill him. And, I should say, with the disclaimer, I know, recap and then disclaimer in the middle. So, with the disclaimer, there may be scenes depicting violence, scenes of a sexual nature, and swearing. And for those with a sensitive disposition who cannot bear such things, you know where the X button is at the corner of your internet browser. So, continuing on with the recap. So, you guys decided to do a bit of investigating with 2 completely different methods. Meta found an old informant known as Orin. If I actually remember the name,
Yes.
it was Orin, a gnome who pretty much told him that Rin Rin has been involved in a lot of crimes of criminal damage to noble supplies and properties, as well as various robberies and other unscrupulous acts. And his last known whereabouts was in a seaside town called Hull. So that was all Meta really got. Meanwhile, everyone else decided that chatting to the common folk was probably the better way to go. And what better place to get rumours and possibly people who know a thing or two about a thing or two is the tavern. So you guys went into a special place called the Spirits Inn, where you were greeted and humbly served by a tiefling called Mythic, and a woman called Sonia. There, you guys, well, of music and fire breathing, fire eating, before being rewarded with keeping Mythic company in quotation marks.
Well,
Wow, wow. But also, you guys more or less enjoyed some drinks, food, and all that good stuff. But at some point during the night, Ombretta decided to go for a little bit of a walk and come across a suspicious looking man who is about to have his way with a clearly drunken out of her head woman. One murder later, in with a spear to the gut, and Ombretta managed to rescue the woman, leaving the man bleeding to death on the streets. And she took her back to the Spirit Inn, where she sort of let the woman have her bed, and Ombretta just sort of stayed downstairs. So we start off the story with morning. So everyone gets their spell slots and like abilities back and anything and hit points as well. As you all wake up to the smell of bacon and eggs, and you guys like sort of come downstairs and congregate around the table like one by one. Some a little bit more tired than others, but but yes,
Yes.
I but yes, I will leave the table to you guys to discuss.
Oh, good morning, darlings. How are you all feeling today?
grumpy.
So, what's our plan of action for today then?
We should do the job we were probably paid to do instead of fooling around with barmaids.
Hey, I might have been interrogating her. Don't know that.
You were interrogating her inside.
If you were interrogating her, then I'm the baron of the local land.
Sorry, did you say interrogating or entering her?
Bard never kisses and tells unless it's in the form of song.
Please do not sing for us. Cannot handle more of your spontaneous sing-songs.
Oh, you're so grumpy in the morning.
I'm grumpy in general.
But you're extra special grumpy in the mornings, Meta.
Clib's just giving you the side eye.
Fucking parrot.
Ruffles his feathers a bit.
It's in goblin. Should we go off and actually try and do what we were paid to do after this breakfast?
Go on then.
Anyone seen the others?
Oh, not this morning.
We'll let the lazy people have a lay-in.
At some point, like Ombretta does join you along with Ruperius. Both of them kind of like sort of say their greetings of acknowledgement and tuck into their breakfast. And just sort of offering the odd like sort of yeah or like sort of nod in agreement of some sort.
So let's discuss what we already know. We know that was last seen around the town of Hurl. He's been causing people's trouble. What we should probably do is speak to what was that captain's name?
The captain's name was Cromley. the Lord's name was Whitehead.
Oh, you mean Cromley? We need to speak with Cromley.
Well, I'm thinking, go speak to him. We can find out where they captured him, and then from there, using his last known location, we can maybe try and piece together the area he's operating in.
I like the sound of that.
Yes. Yes.
Then let's go on our adventure and let's just
Let's go find. So we're gonna make our way to go find Captain Cromley.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. So you remember that Captain Cromley's most likely going to be at the castle, at the castle where you had that kind of briefing from Cromley, as well as Whitehead, as well as Lord Whitehead. So you all trundle off. On your way, however, you do see an area blocked off between trying to remember the other tavern's name now. Between the Jolly Drunk and like a little bit of distance away, probably about 15 to 20 feet. And you see several guards sort of surrounding the perimeter, and you see two guards sort of knelt over, well, sort of crouched and knelt over what appears to be something underneath a cloth.
I'm gonna go over and try and question one of the local guards about what happened.
Okay, so you approach two of the guards, and both guards kind of sort of hold on to their halberds and goes,
Kind of like
eh,
raise both my hands to show I'm not armed, like placatingly, like I'm not a threat.
excuse me, sir. You're best to move along. A bit of a grisly scene, eh?
What's happened here then?
There's really nothing for you to see, and then the other guard goes, but Dave, there's been a murder. Like, people obviously know that there's been a murder there, and it's like, shut up, Steve. Like, right, yes, there's been a murder, but that's all you really need to know.
Well, I'm gonna explain to them that we're currently working with Captain Cromley to try and see if we can discern the whereabouts of the escapee bandits from the execution the other day. This might be something related to it. How do we know? How do we know this person didn't discover the bandits and they killed him to cover their tracks?
And he's like, well, unless you have written permission from Lord Whitehead or Captain Cromley themselves, then I can't possibly allow you to. Then I can't possibly allow you to investigate. Then I can't possibly allow you any reason to investigate this particular matter. And Steve goes, but they might have a point. I mean, I did hear rumours that the Lord actually hired a couple of adventurers to, try and get that bandit that was supposed to be executed. Remember? Yes, I know, Steve. You don't need to remind me of the failed execution. And he turns back to you, Meta. Well, no, well, should you have written proof should you have the seal of approval as well as written proof, then we can allow you to investigate such a matter. But for now, it's best that you all move along.
Okay, thank you for your time. I'll turn away and we go back to the rest of the party.
Okay? and like as you walk away, you can hear like the two kind of start bickering between each other.
Oh, well, yeah, just everyone's. So someone's been murdered, but they won't let us investigate until we can get writ of authorization from either the captain or that lord. I think we should definitely go and see them now. See if we can maybe get sheriff's badge or something to help us.
Yes, let's go see these
We
high up
could,
people.
yes.
Way then.
All right. So you carry on your way to the castle, and eventually you are, and eventually you are, and eventually you do arrive. The guards that there's two guards, and they sort of cross their halberds, going, "Halt! State your purpose."
Oh. We're here to see Captain Cromley regarding the investigation into the escapee bandit from yesterday's execution.
Ah, yes, you're the ones who stayed behind at the execution site and fought off them bandits. Ah, yes, I remember your faces thinking about it. You may proceed. And they sort of like part their halberds and allow you entry to the castle.
Thank you, kind sirs.
Artemis, this is not the time.
Oh, you're such a buzzkill, Midge. No shame in
We have
showing
things to do.
appreciation.
It just,
If you had your way, you'd be taking them behind the castle.
Maybe later, after a few ales.
I just gently like tap them both on the side of the head and tell them to focus.
I am focused meta-mori.
You do not have the right in my full name. You have not earned my respect in my full name. What?
Oh, you're calling me by my type, are you now? You're gonna get me all hot and now.
So it takes you, it takes you a moment or, well, it takes you a few minutes to eventually come across the. No, it eventually takes you like a little bit, to which you're greeted by the very familiar um, man with the breastplate armor and dirt blonde hair, and goes, you lot, it's you lot. So, what can I do for you?
So we're going to explain to him what we've found out so far about him operating around Hurl. And just explain to him as well that there's been a murder in the city that wanted to investigate to see if it's linked to the escapee, but we can't do so without a writ of authorization.
All right, okay. If you just, all right, if you just follow me and then give me a moment, I'll write out a warrant for you to investigate the murder. It was quite a
Nada.
It's been a
yes
murder.
murder.
There's
Yes,
been a
I mean, I've heard. I mean, I heard there was a murder, but we didn't. But I only sent the men out to investigate it, see if they can find the criminal quickly. But it might be related to what happened with Rin Rin, as you called him. And he leads you around the castle until you come across a wooden door, to which he stops and goes, "All right, no, all right. If you just wait there, no, all right. If you just wait there," and he enters the room, and it's about a minute or so before he returns to you with a rolled up piece of parchment, and he hands the piece of paper to one of you who would like to take it, and he goes, here's the warrant and permission for you to investigate the murder, and has the seal of approval and everything. I don't think the guards will object to that.
I'll take it if no one else is going to.
Yes, Meta, you take it.
Ah.
Maybe the guards will.
I'll keep a hold of this. I'll take that from him. I'm then just going to ask him as well if they could tell us where they captured him last time. If you want to try and piece together, based upon we know his previous activity around the town of Hurl and where he was captured, we're hoping to try and retrace his steps.
I see. So Hurl. All right. No. All right. I suppose that could be a job that you can handle. See if you can find any. See if you can find out any more about his whereabouts, and hopefully we could be one step closer to apprehending the criminal.
Yes. So did they tell us where they managed to capture him?
Oh yes, sorry. Sorry, my mind was in other places right now. Still thinking about that murder. But yes, when we captured him, it was somewhere between. Yes, when he was captured, it was somewhere between Sunfall and Brittlegar.
Sorry?
Sunfall and Brittlegar.
Fall.
So I think if I take you over to this map here, and so Sunfall is there, and
that's Meta's hometown.
Okay, so it's probably somewhere in between those two.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in between those two.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Yes, and thank you for giving us such valuable information, and hopefully we'll be only one step closer to catching him.
Okay. How do you guys want to handle this? Do we all want to investigate the murder scene, or should myself and Hal go and investigate the murder? And should we leave Artemis and Mitch? Do you guys want to go out on the town and try and see what you can find out? Work your devious little charms.
But what if a battle ensues with just you two? I think we should all just go as a group.
Oh, I'm happy to do whatever you ask me to, Meta.
Alrighty, as a group it is then. Should we go investigate the murder first?
Yes, let's go back to that grisly scene.
All right. So, after a short walk, you return to the murder scene, and the two guards that you met, Dave and Steve, seem to have stopped arguing for now, and are more or less like trying to keep like other people away from the scene. And as you approach, Dave goes, "Ah, you're back. I'm going to assume you have that. I'm going to assume you have that permission slip or warrant from the captain himself."
And I'll pull it out and hand it over to him.
Okay. Dave looks it over, and as does Steve. And and Dave sort of rolls it up and rolls the parchment up and hands it over to Meta. It looks all very genuine to me. So I suppose we could allow you to know a little more.
Just a little more. This warrants us to investigate the whole scene.
Well,
This right technically gives us jurisdiction.
well, was stabbed with a sharp object, but we're not entirely sure what exactly. So I suppose if you can make sense of it all, then that would be good.
Can we go and investigate the body?
Have a look.
Okay.
Yes, let's do so.
Guys.
Okay. So as you kind of pass Dave and Steve, I want you all to. Okay, so investigating what?
I'm going to investigate the body.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm going to investigate the.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to investigate the body.
I'll
Okay.
join and investigate the body with Howl.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
Let's investigate the body.
Okay. So for those investigating the body, I would like you to make a medicine check and an investigation check for me, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, why is... I don't see...
This is not so good by investigation.
Right, so medicine and...
Investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah, investigation.
I mean, between Howl and Artemis, they can investigate and medicate, I suppose.
Ignore these.
No worries. Okay. So, in terms of how the, in terms of okay, so obviously he looks to be in his 30s. You see, is that the victim was a man and has a bit of a shaved head, has a bit of a rough kind of look to him. In terms of how he was killed, let's see. So, investigation and medicine. So, Hal, you can. So, Hal, well, obviously, on the basic level, everyone you know that the man died of blood loss and puncture of vital organs with a sharp object. But Hal, you notice that the object in question is likely to be a dagger, or possibly something similar to a there's something similar to a short sword or dagger. But otherwise you don't really see. Otherwise, you don't really get any other clues from that. In terms of investigating, you, in fact, okay, Artemis and Midge.
Yes.
Both of you find a dagger on this guy. You also find what appears to be you find what appears to be a very small sachet. Well,
Okay.
actually, you find 2 sachets, one of which has already been opened. The other sachet is not open.
What's in this could give us a clue as to why he has ended up dead in this alley.
Can we investigate this stuff that's whatever's in the
Okay.
sachet?
Make an investigation check.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, very good rolls, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Investigating the sachets, you both see what appears to be a white powder residues in the one that was open. And as you both kind of investigate it, at some point you decided to give it a little taste, and you immediately realize that this seems to be some kind of sedative used to sedate people, but it also has it's a bit of a sedative, really. So, and like probably a larger dose of this could probably make a person really lethargic to just unconscious within a few minutes.
Oh,
Hmm.
it's not nice.
What did Calpol?
Oh, what a dirty scoundrel he must have been. He has seduced a lady without having to drug her?
I guess he got into my stash.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Absolutely nothing worse than somebody who makes something so private without consent.
What a good tiefling.
Well, I may be a bit of a thought, but at least I ask permission before I enter.
Oh.
Do you wipe your feet before you go in?
I would rather have consent and the other party also enjoy themselves than make love to something that may as well be dead.
That's the necromancers.
Flashback! Going.
Okay. Meta, looking around the scene, please give me a perception check.
Oh, I'd love to. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm crap at everything. It involves looking at things or talking to people.
Looking around the scene, you don't really see anything that can give you an indication of what happened.
Mm.
I'm noticing that he's not seen much. Have a little look around as well.
You can make a perception check.
Perception.
I will help you, Artemis.
Not much better.
Wow.
Yeah, blind.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my god.
Whoever
Okay.
did this was very good at
I will. Okay, I will take on the role of Ombretta and
Umbretta's just sweating nervously the entire time.
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so Ombretta, nope. And then Ruperius, like he has pretty good wisdom, so surely his would be pretty decent, or perception even.
These dice are fixed.
look like all of you look around the scene, but you can't really find anything indicating that like you can't really find anything indicating any evidence of what happened before the actual murder.
Right.
What did they find in his satchels again? Sorry.
Sedatives.
Yeah, they found a kind of sedative powder.
Right. Okay.
I was out to date rape.
Right.
Is this alleyway? Is it near the entrance? Is it near like a back entrance to that tavern or anything?
It was like a couple of it was kind of like a couple of buildings away from the Jolly Drunk.
Right. Okay. Um.
I was gonna say, so what would you like to do?
Anything that's better than our perception check.
I'm just gonna ask the group. Actually, Artemis,
Yes.
how good would you say you are at describing what people look like?
Yeah, I have quite a keen eye, I'd like to think.
Why don't we make our way over to the Jolly Inn? Was it the Jolly
The
Drunk?
Jolly Drunk.
Is it the
The
Jolly
Jolly
Drunk?
Drunk.
Why don't we ask around there? And if you describe what the man looked like, maybe someone would have seen him last night.
Yes, of course. Let's go have a little investigation.
Yes, let's see what we can perceive.
See what we can see.
Okay.
I hope
So
we can perceive more than 10 things.
so, entering the Jolly Drunk, you see the place. You see like pretty much no one but the staff in there. The staff consisting of a teenage half-orc boy who seems to have like a little tuft of hair, like near the front of his head, with a light green pigmentation on his skin. You see a half-orc woman with black, long hair, like really sort of full of volume.
Mermaid length?
Sorry?
Mermaid hair length, like work doubles as a bra?
Not quite. But she wears like a kind of terracotta red dress with a off-white apron. No, off-white apron over it, and she seems to be like cleaning the bar. And she looks up to you all and goes, "I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to come back until later in the evening. We're open. It's closed at this time in the morning."
We're investigating the unfortunate incident that happened just a few alleys away from your establishment. And we'd like to ask you a few questions if we can, please.
All right. We were already interrogated by the guards, but I can only tell you what we've already told the guards, but ask away.
Let's have a seat, shall we? These don't consider this an interrogation. Let's have more of a friendly discussion.
Fair enough. No, fair enough.
Oh, are you aware of the victim? Know who he is?
Well, I know. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I'm gonna ask Artemis if she can like describe what the man looked like to them, and ask if they saw him at their establishment last night.
We just need to know if this gentleman was here in the establishment last night, as he was found not too far away, as sort of a shaven head and a very rough unkempt look to him. He was in his mid-30s.
Bit rapey looking.
He might have been perhaps acting suspiciously around any of the young maidens he may have been in.
Yes, I recall a man like that. He seemed to have been talking to a woman last night and kept buying her drinks.
Right, okay.
See him do anything to her drink?
Not to my knowledge, no. Otherwise, I would have stopped him. Probably just thrown him out like the trash like the trash. That's all bad people are.
Don't suppose you've still got the drink that they had, or have you washed the cup at all?
I'm afraid that's already been washed. So I'm afraid that's already been washed. Like, I try to keep the bar as tidy as possible, but with all the people who just want to get drunk off their faces, it's quite difficult.
When you cleaned it, did you find any weird residue in the cup at all?
I am going to roll a thing real quick. As a matter of fact, I did. I found some, I don't know, white powder. Only a little bit at the bottom of the tankard, but I didn't really think anything of it, as I thought that was part of the foam.
Anyone here recognize this stuff at all?
I'll pull out of my pocket the pouch of the white powder.
And it may and no, actually no, I'm not going to let you roll for that. Comparing the powder that you have in the sachet and the powder in the tankard, well, I mean, from the description of the tankard, she already washed the tankard. Given the description that she had and comparing it to the white powder, the description's very similar to each other.
So, this...
Show it to her. Will she recognize it?
Okay. She looks at the powder and goes, "Yeah, it looks similar to the stuff you got there."
Did you say
Yeah.
he was pouring this in the drink of a girl he was talking to?
So, what did the girl look like?
Well, the woman had long, dark brown hair, was dressed quite modestly. No, was dressed quite modestly, had dark eyes. She was a human. Yeah, she was a human, and the guy had, I mean, to be honest, they didn't really come in as a couple. Like, she was just, she was there long before he was, and then he just sort of approached her.
Did the man come in on his own, or was he drinking with other men? Maybe,
No,
maybe who looked maybe dangerous looking.
he came in on his own. I didn't see him around anyone else. Or if he was with anyone else, I certainly didn't see him with anyone.
Was he drinking
he-
on his own all night, or did he engage with it? Did he chat with anyone like he might have seemed friendly with?
Nah, like, I mean, apart from maybe a few people that he had some, I don't know, small talk with, but then he just kept walking to her all night, kept talking to her, offering to buy her drinks. Like, she just thought that he was being really nice. But then later on, she seemed to get more tired and quite wasted, which is quite weird because, I mean, she'd been ordering drinks that wouldn't get her drunk so quickly.
Dirty scoundrel must have drugged her.
Well, people like that don't deserve my sympathy. Good riddance, I say, if that's the case.
No, I certainly agree with you there.
Yes, thank you for your time. Guys, to me, it seems like maybe he wasn't linked to the bandits, but he seems to have been just some drunken man who's really up to no good,
Yeah.
who's operating on his own, and from the sounds of it, tried to hook this curious young lady and have his way with her. She seemed to have stabbed him and got the last laugh, so to speak.
Yes. Then he got what he deserved, so we should leave it as that.
Perhaps, was there a young lady of that description in the tavern when we woke up this morning? Looking rather worse for wear.
Yes, I think there was. Yes. Why don't we pass this information over to the guards and let them handle it?
She didn't look like she'd stabbed anyone. I mean, surely she'd still have bloodstains on her somewhere.
That's a good point.
If
Well,
it was
why
that
don't
far
why
gone,
don't
she
we
wouldn't be able to clean herself up. Maybe someone came to her rescue.
maybe, but we couldn't find any signs of it. Why don't we pass this information back to the guards, and
Let's
then
give this information back to Dave and Steve, was it?
yes, because at the end of the day, we're here to find the bandits, not to solve a murder. Although they may reward us for this information, which we've uncovered more than they already have.
Yes, let's go and pass this information on then.
Yeah, we'll leave the tavern.
All right. So you return to the scene of the crime, and Dave and Steve sort of like chatting amongst each other before Steve goes, "Oh, back so soon? Have you figured something out yet?"
As a matter of fact, we might have some important information for you.
All right, let's hear it. And this is Dave, sort of looking a bit inquisitive.
Well, myself and my associate Midge did have a look over the body. We see that he had on his person a sedative that is often used to coerce unwilling partners into bed.
Scoundrel. How dare he use such awful tactics on innocent people who... It's okay, Dave. Just calm down. You don't want to like give yourself one of them migraines again. Like, thank you, Steve.
No, Dave. And well, myself and Meta did go and have a chat with the lovely bar lady at the Jolly Drunk, was it called, Meta?
Jolly drunk, yes. And lady she was, to be fair, very polite. Half orc.
Well, yes. Well, yes. You don't get many civilized half-orcs nowadays.
She did positively identify that he was in the tavern coercing a young lady.
So it appears that he's not working with our bandits because he arrived on his own and was on his own for the most of the night, other than making small talk and then trying to seduce this lady. We did see a lady who pretty much matched the entire description, which I can't remember what the description we were given, but my character's going to recite it to them. We saw this lady in the same tavern we were staying at, which was the Spirits Inn.
Right.
It may be worth questioning her if she's still there. Speaking to the bar staff if they know anything about her.
Right. I suppose. Excuse me. Yes, I suppose we should. That will give us. It's at least a lead. Well, we do appreciate the. We do appreciate the information, and hopefully we'll catch the scoundrel who murdered. Well, I say scoundrel, but I suppose I could call it pest control.
What seems to have happened is he's drugged a young lady, tried to take advantage of her in her drugged state, but he seems to have met the pointy end of her dagger.
So you're thinking that maybe the victim was the culprit to the murder?
I mean,
Oh.
it's likely it could have been self-defense, but she appeared to be in blood when we left. I mean, there would have been some sign on her.
Depends on when she came back. She could have cleaned herself up that before, and then to bed.
I mean, trust me, on them sort of narcotics, she'd have been in no fit state to even brush her own hair, let alone wash blood off her hands.
Right, that's a very good point.
Well,
I highly advise speaking to the bar staff if the lady is not present. Maybe speaking to them first and finding out what they know about her.
yes, I suppose we should send a couple of men over to interrogate them. Yes, well, yes, we shall most certainly do that. In the meantime, I suppose you're going to continue your investigation into that bandit leader, as it were.
Yes. I don't suppose you've heard of any leads with the guard grapevine?
Any talk on the street?
Well, now that you mention it, there had been some reports of people going missing in Sunfall. Like just people getting mysteriously taken away or just disappearing and not coming back for a long time.
The mention of Sunfall, Meta's going to kind of have a bit of a flashback from when he was a kid.
Okay.
What
does this flashback
years.
consist of? What does this flashback consist of?
It's like memories of his parents put him through.
So for a moment, Meta, your eyes kind of glaze over as memories of intense training fill your mind and the strain that it put on you. But you sort of blink yourself back into reality and you kind of compose yourself.
Disassociating hard right there.
And
Out of body experience there.
I did all right, sir. And this is Steve, like kind of waving his hand over your eyes, Meta. Like to which
think back to consciousness and look around at everyone and kind of just like
Back to reality.
my face kind of like flushes in embarrassment and I just go, let's go.
Oh, there goes the gravity.
yeah, and Dave goes like, Steve, you don't just wave your hand in front of people's faces and ask them whether they're all right at the same time. Well, you can ask them whether they're all right, but you don't just wave your hand in front of people's faces. They may not like it. I know, but he was just a bit spacing out and that. I wanted to make sure he was doing okay.
Oh.
Oh, he meant well.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. But yes, there have been rumours of people disappearing between Sunfall and Brittlegar. Now that you mention it. Now that you mention it. They try to take the path that's quickest over there and then they just disappear.
Should we go and speak to that lord and just explain to him that the fact that we found that he was last known to be active between and now reports again of people disappearing there, that would be the best place to investigate.
Okay.
And you know,
Back in a sec.
we're happy to do it, but we're going to need some equipment and money and potions for the road.
Mm-hmm. You know what this means, guys. Shopping montage.
Get in, Lewis, we're going shopping.
So, you were going to speak to Lord Whitehead first, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it makes sense. Explain to him what we've learned. Say to him, this is where we believe the best place to start investigating, based upon
Okay.
what we've learned, and go from there.
Okay. So going back to the castle once more, the guards instantly recognize you from like the plaza incident and let you in, and you arrive at, well, Cromley kind of spots you and goes, "Ah, right. Oh, you're back. So any progress on the murder investigation or the bandit investigation, as it were?"
Advise them all we've learned about and what we've told the guards, especially about the drugs and what the mystery woman who we saw at the Spirit Inn.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So, so it might be her then. Well,
I think the Spirit Inn's definitely your best lead.
well, very well. I suppose. No, I suppose a Sergeant Dave would. No, I suppose a Sergeant Dave would conduct that end of an investigation on the murder. Very reliable man he is. But yes, I'm pretty sure he'd be doing a good job of getting people to over there. But yes, did you need to speak to me or Lord Whitehead at all?
Yes, if we can speak to Lord Whitehead, please. But it'd probably be best to have you both at the same time.
Right this way, and he sort of ushers you to Lord Whitehead's office, where he knocks on the doors, and you hear "Enter," to which he opens the large doors, and as all of you file in, you see the well-dressed human of Lord Whitehead at his desk. And he goes, "Ah." He goes, "Ah. So, so judging from your arrival back, I presume that you found a lead of sorts."
Yes, we believe he's operating back in the area where you caught him between Sunfall and Brittlegar, as we've heard rumors that people going missing in that area. Also, his last known location was Hurl, where he was disrupting Noble's operations. It could be reasoned that people going missing between those two areas are being kidnapped and taken to Hurl. Who knows what?
I see. Well then, I suppose. Well then, I suppose those two are areas of which I'm pretty sure you're all capable of investigating, seeing as you got this far.
Yes.
Indeed. But I'll get other informants on there as well. But in the meantime, if you wanted to investigate those two leads, then by all means, you're welcome to do so.
And that's what we wanted to talk to you about. It's be doing this. Would it be possible to procure funds to help us prepare for the journey, such as potions, weapons, and such? Also, we have also provided your guards with a lead regarding a murder in your city.
I suppose it would be honest of me to provide you with some funds for you doing a good job so far. Each of you can get given 100 gold pieces each. Will that suffice?
Yes, these 100 golds aren't coming out of our original reward money, are they?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Just at least spend it wisely for the journey ahead.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your gracious offer. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so everyone, you have 100 gold pieces in your funds to spend it on whatever you deem necessary.
Oh, guys, who wants to go shopping?
Shopping montage.
Montage. So it was 100 gold pieces each.
Yes, 100 gold pieces each. So, after being ushered out of the castle, and unless you had any other questions or...
Now, if you guys have anything you want to ask.
Nope.
No, I'm happy to follow your lead.
Okay, so after being escorted out of the castle, okay, so what did everyone want to buy? Or if anyone needs anything to buy.
I want to go find the potion seller.
Okay, then.
The strongest potions.
Yes.
The strongest potion seller.
Okay.
And get me one. I know you speaking now.
Yes, I think some potions
So-
for the journey might be good.
Okay. You find a potion shop called the Purple Vial, and you sort of enter the potion shop, and as soon as you open the door, you hear a ding 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 kind of bell, and and you don't see anyone or hear anyone right away. But lined across the shelves, you do see various lined across the shelves, you see glass cabinets, each filled with uniquely shaped bottles of different sizes and shapes, with a whole colourful array of liquids. Yeah, with a whole colourful array of liquids.
I have a look around to see if see what they've got in the shelves, and at the same time just being like, hello.
And as soon as you say hello, you hear, yes, who is it? And you hear like patters of feet, and coming towards you is a gnome with white hair, sort of crowning around a bald patch on top of his head, with glasses that seem to expand his pupils. Expand his pupils, and you see You see him wearing like a kind of white lab coat over some ordinary clothes. You see a mole on his left cheek. Yeah, see like a really quite a big mole on his left cheek. With like a few specks, look, with a few freckles on top of his bald head. And he sort of looks up to you and goes, "Yes, can I help you?" Okay, you know, I got potions.
That's a good thing we're here to buy your potions then.
All right, so what sort of potions are we looking at today?
What kind of health potions have you got, sir?
Potions, you say? Potions to heal the wounds. Not emotional wounds, mind you, but physical wounds, nevertheless.
Alcohol's job.
Well, yes, I like that. I like that thought. I'm going to write that down when I get a moment or so. Hopefully, I won't forget. Well, you see,
Scribble it
I
down
have
on a piece of parchment for him.
No, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. And he takes the parchment. He sort of whips the parchment out of your hands and stuffs it in what appears to be one of the inside pockets of his lab coat. And he goes, right, so you're talking of a potion of healing, right? I'll go grab. No, I shall go and grab something like that for you. And he kind of runs to the back, and he kind of runs to like one of the sides of the cabinets, brings out like ladder on the like ladder on wheels or something, which like you just sort of scoot around like the edges or something along the lines, and you hear like the jangling of his keys, like as he kind of stops the ladder at as he kind of stops the ladder at like a certain point, and with every step and with every rung he steps up the ladder, you hear the jangle like ching 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 with the keys, and he brings out the keys, flicks through like all the keys and goes, no 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 no, that's one, and he sort of like shoves the key into the lock and twists it like more aggressive and harder than you would consider doing it, considering that these are glass cabinets that they're inside. So slides the doors open and he brings out a box. Box. And like with one arm on the box, with one arm holding the boxes and with one arm closing the thing, you're kind of worried about his well-being and safety, like considering he's only balancing on this ladder with 2 feet. But miraculously, he doesn't fall over. And then down he comes, ching, 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 before he brings the potions to you and goes, let's see. So I have 8 potions of lesser healing. They're going to cost you 50 gold pieces each.
50?
50, yes. Healing potion.
You've got a silver tongue.
Well, potions of healings aren't cheap to make, you know. You have to go through all sorts of rigmarole just to create one of these.
I mean, perhaps we could strike a deal of sorts, if that would be favourable. I mean, we are on a very, very important mission from... Oh, Meta, show him the paperwork.
I pull out the deed we were given by Captain Cromley, and it's only involving in a murder investigation, but also dealing with bandits. Oh, see here, sir. We are not only are we trying to keep your streets safe, murderers, but we're also trying to stop bandits. What would you do if not only how will you be able to sell your potions if you've got bandits out in the country raiding your supplies, or let alone got a murderer skulking about the streets who could break into your house while you and slit your throat in your sleep?
Make
No,
a.
take that.
I was gonna say, like, because Artemis is using like the persuasion route, but the tone I'm getting from Meta is more intimidation.
Doing the good
So-
cop, bad cop.
I mean, come on, my
So
friend Meta's rather intimidating. I wouldn't want to get on the
I
wrong side.
want Artemis to make a persuasion check, and I want Meta to make an intimidation check for me, please.
Here comes that -1 intimidation.
Between the two of you, you plead your case, and oh man, and like when the gnome was kind of like looking at the when he was kind of looking at the paper, like he sort of took like lowers his specs a bit, and you could see his eyes are very squinty before raising them up to his face, and you see like the big round pupils once more, and he goes, "Well, I mean, as I said, making these healing potions aren't very cheap to make, and requires a lot of gold to, well, more or less make these things. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what. I shall discount it to you for, say, 30 gold pieces, but in the meantime, I would need a few ingredients for more of these potions. And if you so decide to get some of these ingredients on the shopping list, then I may consider selling them to you for much cheaper. Or maybe give you some of your money back, like when you next return, sort of thing."
That sounds like a good deal to me, and I'm sure if we can work out a good arrangement with yourself, we'll definitely be coming back, spending plenty more with you in the future.
Well, I suppose. Well, you better do, because otherwise, I don't really have much of a business going on. I mean, I can't really sort of barter with everyone that comes here.
Oh, like the merchants back at home then. And I'm going to offer him 60 gold coins for 2 health potions.
Right, okay. So, mark off 60 gold pieces as you have acquired 2 potions of lesser healing. Or 2 potions of healing, like as it were. But for some reason I say lesser healing. Why do I make that habit? I don't know. So, I'm just checking. Now, what am I checking? Oh, I had a train of thought and it crashed and burned. Gosh darn it. Okay, so yes, 2 potions of lesser healing. Yes.
Am I putting that under equipment?
Yes, that will be under equipment.
I also offer him 60 gold for 2.
60 gold for 2. Yep. So mark off 60 gold off your list. Of your gold. Yeah.
We'll also take the herb list he offered and basically explain that if we find any more herbs, if we find any herbs, we'll bring them straight to him.
Yes. That will be a list. That'll be a list that I will create and show everyone once this is all over.
So,
Yes.
sir, since, well, I can tell you're a man of clever genius, surely someone like yourself must experiment often.
Yes, I mean, yes, I mean, how do you think I lost parts of my ears? And he sort of like raises parts of his hair, and you can see, like clearly some notches in his ears. So yes, I had my ears blown off one time when I was trying to make a potion of magic missiles. Didn't go so well. Shot my ears right off, it did.
Nice. Ashley's like crashing hard, but she said she'd like to buy 2 potions as well.
Okay, so
Hal's gonna hand over 60 gold coins as well.
yep. So mark 60 gold coins off your your lovely gold thingy, gold stash, as it were. Huzzah!
Do you have any experimental potions you'd be I say trade with? How about we could either work at a very discounted price, or if you let us have them for free, we could provide you all the details on feedbacks on how they are applied in the field. Help with your future research. Together, we could discuss future results and maybe even commission certain potions from you once we know what certain reactions are caused.
Certainly don't have any that enhance performance.
I do have some. How I say potions that I'm testing out. Ones which, if they're a success, then well, I could make a fortune out of them. But yes, I haven't really had anyone who'd volunteer to do such things. Hence why I experimented a lot on myself.
Well, how about then if you allow us to have a couple of these potions? Well, we will experiment and we will provide to you feedback when we bring back your herbs, and then if this works out well, we could talk about more experimental potions in the future and maybe even eventually partnership.
Yes. This is going to be the start of a beautiful relationship, a business venture, I shall say. I'll just go grab them potions for you. And he kind of runs to the back of the store, and you hear a combination of clinking and clanking of glass bottles, clinking together, and like the occasional thud from some boxes and the odd sort of who actually speak Gnomish?
You doing Tash? No? I lie.
I don't think anyone does.
The parrot does.
The parrot speaks
So-
every language.
So Tertia, please roll for me a d12.
And just get fucking.
As the parrot hears these gnomish phrases, okay, so who can speak Draconic? Oh, I heard it. Oh,
We can't.
nah.
Don't know if Greta or Ruperius can.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, nope. I will have a look for Riparius. And Riparius can understand. Yeah, the parrot is essentially swearing a lot. And Riparius has the fortune or misfortune of hearing all these curse words.
Wasn't he the only one who could understand it last time as well when it was speaking Celestial?
Yeah.
Just forming a bond with this parrot.
An unwanted or an unintentional bond with the parrot. So, it's like, why am I the only person who knows all these languages? Yeah, but Riparius is kind of like sighing in exasperation and just shaking his head. Um, but yes. And the gnome hands you 3 vials of different shaped bottles. With one is a turquoisey bluey green liquid.
Just gonna name them by the colour. So turquoise potion.
Yep, turquoise potion. The next is a purple liquid inside.
I want to taste it.
I was going to say. And the third potion is orange, but it has little chunks of a darker orange, but you're not entirely sure what those chunks are made of.
Is anyone else taking
carrots?
anyone else taking the experimental potions? Oh,
I mean, if any of them are for performance enhancing.
we don't know. That's the fun of the game.
Okay.
Any indication of what any of these potions do, perchance?
Well, no, that's why they're experimental.
That's why we're getting them for free.
Yeah, you're getting them for free. Isn't that enough?
I don't want to die if I drink one.
Well, no, you definitely won't die. I mean, seriously, maim possibly, but otherwise you won't die.
I think I'll pass, but I'm sure Meta will have some fun.
What about you, Midge?
I will try them. Why would just throw one at something?
I'm gonna throw one.
One of the potions.
Yes, maybe the next enemy will just throw one of the bottles.
You taking one of each as well?
Yes, why not?
So you've got a turquoise, a purple, and an orange potion.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to hit up a shop or anything else?
Okay.
I mean, what is in the turquoise potion?
I mean, it got kale, seaweed. I mean, blue stuff.
Blue stuff?
Blue stuff, yes. Very good stuff, blue stuff.
Right. Thank you very much for your time. So, what was your name again, please? So, obviously.
My name is Aiden. I don't know.
I didn't know.
I don't know. That's my name. Aiden, and then no.
Lovely name.
Would anyone like to visit an armory or a weapon shop at all?
No, I am fine for everything.
I have what I need for now.
I'm going to give like Ripurius and Ombretta 2 potions of healing each. Just so like
You didn't miss out.
So they don't miss out, yeah. Yeah, so they don't miss out, sort of thing. Okay, so yeah.
My character sheet doing. I imagine, to be fair, any new armor and stuff's gonna be expensive.
What sort of armor and weapons you'd want to have?
I mean, I wouldn't mind a hand crossbow. That might be quite fun.
I'm just thinking, I've got 19 crossbow bolts. It might be worth just getting a few more. Because my character's got that black longsword, hasn't he? That we were gonna have evolve as the character progresses.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
19 crossbows will be fine.
okay, so I just need to find the light crossbow. There's a light crossbow, you say? Haha.
For mine, I have proficiency in a hand crossbow.
Hand crossbow. Oh, bear with. Hand crossbow. Haha. Right. That would cost you 75 gold pieces
I'll
for
pass.
a hand crossbow.
Fine. I'll just carry on as is then.
Oh,
Ready?
yes.
I think there's anything else anyone wants, is there?
No.
No. Oh, shall we make our way then off to, let's have a look at the map. Should we start with the searching near Sunfall?
Yes. I'm happy with that.
I agree.
Which town are we in?
You are in Silicax.
Right, oh, okay. We'll be going Sunfall.
I was going to say the distances on the map is not like to scale yet.
What? So it's not 100 miles.
No. Let me. Yeah, let me sort of adapt it somewhat. So actually, you know what? It will take you about. If I just did it. It will take you about 2 days to get from Silicax to Sunfall.
Okay. So we're gonna set off to Sunfall. Should we call it a night here, and then the next session we'll do the journey to Sunfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do.
Yeah, I'm
Just
happy
say
with
that because Tertia's like falling asleep hard.
Yeah, that's okay. We can end the session here then. So, yes, thank you all for watching a murder mystery in progress, as well as finding out a few more pieces about the whereabouts and activities of Rin Rin and a shopping montage. So, it is a good night from.
Good night.
Bye.
And it is a
also a good night from me.
yes, and it's a good night from your dungeon mistress. And we shall see you all next Tuesday. So stay safe, stay at home, and stay awesome. Bye bye.
See you later, guys.